Hello and welcome to the Madhouse everyone, Tridot here, and this is my honest review on a newly released isometric action ARPG called Victor Vran. So let's just get into it right here. As we get into the game, we are going to be prompted with a cutscene which basically explains the location of the game and where everything is going to unfold. Now, after we skip this cutscene, as you see here, we are just gonna get right into the game and get this little prequel thing. Basically we just have to play a little bit and then we're actually going to start the game. After we play to the prequel, we are prompted with this screen which basically makes us to choose between 3 outfits, and each one of them is different and each one of them is going to impact your gameplay. Basically we have the Hunter's outfit, which grants additional overdrive when you suffer damage, which allows you to use your demonic powers more often in tough encounters. It offers a balanced playstyle and will serve you well in every situation. We have the Cavaliers, which grants overdrive automatically over time, but your attacks do not generate overdrive. And then we have Vigilantes, which basically generate overdrive on critical hit. And after we choose one of these outfits, in this case we're going to pick the Hunter, we have to select a difficulty, and we have normal mode, and in normal mode you can turn on and off hexes, and we have hard mode, which basically does not allow you to turn off hexes. There are 5 hexes and they increase the difficulty of the game significantly. After we make our choices, we are going to enter into Castle Zagore, which is basically our town and is going to be our town throughout the game. And we are met with different people, different merchants that sell us stuff like potions, weapons, just like the usual ARPGs. And we have 2 of them, which Irene is going to offer us guns, and then the other one is going to offer us potions as well. Now, another interesting thing is this map. Basically with this map you can portal to any zone that you have discovered, and the zones, for example, have 5 challenges, each and every one of them, and if you complete these challenges, basically you get honestly like nothing, but each challenge has like a reward in here. You see, we get a normal chest if we complete this challenge, slay Ragnos the host within 120 seconds, and we get a rare chest if we complete these 2. Now, let's talk about equipment. We don't have the usual chest piece, gloves or legs, we just have 2 weapons in here. As you can see, we have 2 weapon slots and we can alternate between them, like this. And we also have 2 demonic powers as well that we can have active at the same time. And you can see them on the action bar right here. Next up, we have Destiny cards, and the number of Destiny cards that you can have active at a time is going to increase as you level up, and there are 2 types of Destiny cards as well. We have Wicked Destiny cards and we have Divine Destiny cards, like this one, but they can just spawn as it is, just simple Destiny cards, which is not really a good thing because almost always, like I'm pretty sure 100% all the time, the Wicked or Divine ones are going to be better. Talking about Destiny cards, there is also a vendor in town which sells you these, and you can just purchase them from him. You can get Divine ones, you can get even legendary ones from the merchant, so it is a really good thing to check him up pretty much anytime you can. And of course we have the old stash, in which you can deposit whatever you do not need, and also this is shared between characters. In my opinion, Victor Vran has a lot of customization, and that comes from the weapons that you choose to fight with. There are a total of 7 weapons and we're just going to go through them right now. The Rapier is very good for single target. It has basically just the best single target ability in the game. The Q is going to be a dash forward, and the E, if you kill a mob with it, is going to reset your Q. Now next up we have the sword, which is basically the old-fashioned sword. The Q ability is going to refresh when you critical hit with it, and the E ability is basically a daze, and it is going to daze monsters around the initial monster when you land a critical hit with it. The next weapon is the Scythe, which I think is really interesting because it gains soul shards on hit and on kill. And with these soul shards you can spend them on either your E ability, which is your whirlwind, and that whirlwind has quite really good, like not even quite, insane AoE capability. And then you have the Q, which is basically a stun, but it also requires soul shards, and depending on the soul shards that you spend, the duration is going to be increased both for your whirlwind and for the daze. Now let's get to the hammer. The hammer is basically, well, an insane damage weapon, but it is really slow, as a hammer should be. The E ability, you basically just jump into the sky and then land on top of a mob, and you damage basically everything in that area. And the Q, you can charge it up, and then at the end of the charge you just slam it down, and most likely everything is going to die. Now let's get to our ranged weapons. We have hand mortar. Hand mortar is very interesting because you don't really know how to play it at first. If you hold down, the regular attack is going to travel further. If you do not, it's obviously going to go like just a little bit in front of you. Then your Q basically leaves a puddle of fire on the ground, and that one is going to damage enemies and cripple them as well, which is going to make them move a lot slower. And then the E ability, you jump up and then land and hit mobs with vulnerability, and every time you hit a mob that has vulnerability, you are going to land a critical hit. Next weapon is going to be the shotgun, and the shotgun is really cool because the Q ability is going to refresh its cooldown every time you kill a mob with the shotgun, and the E ability is basically an AoE, which is quite good. And the last one is going to be lightning gun, which in my opinion is the best weapon for AoE in the game. Its mechanics are, I think, the best designed, because the Q ability will basically launch an orb that you don't have control over it, and that orb is going to target mobs that have lightning effect on them, and the lightning effect you can apply by doing the normal left hand mouse button attack. But the thing is, you can damage yourself with the orbs as well. So if you run through an orb, that one is going to damage you as well. And the ability, you will launch another orb. You can adjust the distance it travels with, depending how much time you hold it down. And at the end of its distance, at the end of its trajectory, it is going to explode, and it's going to deal massive amounts of damage. Now I keep mentioning overdrive. You gain overdrive by doing different stuff. Obviously the outfit that you choose is going to influence this. And for example, most outfits you gain overdrive from hitting mobs or landing a critical hit on mobs. And you need overdrive to use your demonic powers. You cannot use your demonic powers without overdrive. And basically overdrive is your, so to say, hero power. The more overdrive you gain, the more demonic powers you are going to use, and it is one of the crucial mechanics in the game, which makes it again pretty interesting. It is the yellow bar right next to your health bar. If Victor Vran excels at one thing, is its combat system. The way that it works is basically unique for an ARPG. Basically just ARPGs are point and click, and that is the way you move, that is the way you do basically everything. You still have an action bar, you still have to use the keyboard for skills, but however, Victor Vran can be played with a controller, and that is really new for ARPGs. And it also can be played with keyboard and mouse, or the old traditional point and click with just the mouse. You move with the mouse, you do everything with the mouse. But I suggest the way playing it is the action way, in which you actually move with the keyboard, with the WASD, and that is basically just insane. Also, the fact that you can jump and dodge is not that common for ARPGs, and it makes it unique, it makes it really good, and honestly, it just makes you feel like you have some skill, you have some control, you can dodge stuff. You cannot get hit in this game, in which most RPGs you just cannot. You cannot get hit, basically. If you're really good at it, if you can dodge, if you can do everything perfectly, then all the time, I don't know, you're just not going to get hit by anything. All in all, Victor Vran gets to you right from the start. It is an insanely good game, and it is quite addictive. You just get into it really easily, and the combat system is basically absolutely perfect. I would not change anything regarding to it, and it also has quite good replayability due to the map challenges, and you can just go back to those zones and try out the challenges. You don't have to do them, they are totally optional. And they also have this feature, this redeem key stuff, that you get a key inside the game if you're playing online, and you can redeem that key. Also, that key is not unique. You can give it out to other players in that sense. If there are a lot of people that have been posting their keys online, on websites, on Reddit, on everything, and basically the community is so far absolutely great. I would totally recommend this game. It is pretty cheap, a lot cheaper than most overrated stuff that is out there on the market right now, and basically it has just totally worked. It's 9 out of 10. I would give it 9 out of 10, and this is just my honest review. If you want to see more Victor Vran content, I have a beginner's guide coming soon, as well as secrets, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I shall see you all in the madhouse.